Good morning. So it is New Year's Eve day, but if anyone has been in the accounting field, you know year end is pretty busy for us. Like, this is the most important time. So I will be going to work today and tomorrow, but since I'm doing part-time, I will be going in like 12 to 5, and right now it's 7:11 a.m. I have been up since 5, but I could not get out of bed for the life of me. And if anyone knows, like, ADHD has really, like, a symptom of ADHD is having low activation energy to start tasks or get going. And so, yeah, I laid in bed for 2 hours, and you know what? That's okay. But the thing is, today is December 31st, okay? And you know when my exam is? January 31st. So it is grind time to study. This week I've been reviewing what I studied over the summer, which is about half the material, 10 chapters. I have 10 chapters left to get through in January, and then to do practice exams and drilling. It's very possible because in law school, the time crunches were much more dire, and luckily law school has a huge break. And for those of you who are new to my channel, sounds so official. I'm just here for fun. But for those of you who are new to my channel, I am a law student pursuing a certified management accountant degree as well. I don't know if it's a degree, it's like a certification, okay? And to be a certified management accountant, you have to work 20 hours a week as an accountant for 4 years, or 40 hours a week for 2 years as an accountant. That satisfies their prompts and their requirements via their handbook, right? And so I'm, of course, doing the 20 hours a week for 4 years because I'm in law school. And law school's its own beast. Like, we aren't going to talk about law school today because I'm putting that in my rearview mirror. I don't want to talk about it. It is an extremely hard thing to do, and I admire all lawyers. That's all I have to say. But okay, for context, I work at a law firm, but I do accounting for the firm. So it's a really good, I would say, that like combo of my two loves, I guess. But as I tell my friends and people I love, accounting is my hobby. My passion is law, because through the law you can advocate for children with disabilities. And I'm starting this channel because I want to raise awareness regarding learning disabilities and other disabilities, hidden specifically in academia, because no one really talks about it. And I kind of reached the point in undergrad where I started doing disability information sessions regarding it, because I'm like, everyone needs to know about this for real. And so, yeah, I woke up 7:14. I had some trouble choosing a New Year's outfit, and if anyone knows me, I love my outfits because it makes me feel put together and ready to take on the day. And also, I think fashion is a beautiful expression of who we are. So this is the fit I chose. I undid these because it was kind of bothering me. Oh yeah, another thing with ADHD, sensitivity issues. And I think it also, yeah, definitely autism as well. Like, clothing when I was little would like irk me, like the feeling of clothing. And I would have to have my neckline up to here, or I would literally have a tantrum. Don't get me started. Anyways, here's the fit. I'm gonna make breakfast because I took my medicine, so you have to eat. And then I'm gonna start off the day. But I wanted to say one quick thing that helps me. Oh, let me grab water. But I have a reminder to remind me to take my pills, because if you know me, I forget things, especially if they're short-term memory. Yeah, so I'm gonna be making breakfast. Okay, there's a YouTuber. She's great. I don't know her name. I don't know, but I'll put her name somewhere in the comments or somewhere up here. I'm still learning how to edit. And she has really good food content. And she had like a brownie bowl. So I'm going to try to do a brownie bowl. Because my friend... Oh. My friend got me gluten-free flour. So I'm going to actually try to do a brownie bowl. And I think I have all the ingredients. Having an eggshell anywhere is disgusting. So what do? Is I put it in a designated eggshell jar so I don't have to touch it longer than I need to. So all the contaminants are in the jar, and then I toss away the jar, especially if I'm making like a bigger meal. I might add, she also got me these, like her whole family gave me all these goodies for Christmas. I might add a little marshmallow on top because it is New Year's. Like, I want to be festive before I start studying about 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Okay, I'm gonna microwave. It kind of looks sad, but I think it'll taste good, hopefully. This is what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna pop it in the microwave. Let's see. Oh, also another helpful. This is why I never cook, because I would get disgusted, and that's why I hardly ever cook meat or eggs. But in your jar, you can put all the contaminants without getting anything else contaminated. It's hot, so hot. Okay, that looks better. That looks more cooked. You can literally see it steaming. Okay, let me check the insides. Okay, yeah, that's fully cooked. So, it's not fully cooked. I need to run it in the microwave. Okay, so it's looking like you need to do 4 minutes, not 3. If you add whipped cream, it's the perfect amount of sweetness because it's like too bread-like before. And now I'm curious if I can make bread with that flour. Who knows? Okay, I'm gonna get studying. Okay, I'm getting ready. I study on the couch any chance I can get. Here's my couch and my stuffed animal named Snowy. I study on the couch any chance I can get because desks can get so exhausting, especially in law school when you're just at a desk for like 4 classes a day. Or when I work, I'm at a desk. Luckily, my firm gave me a stand-up desk, which is really, really appreciated because all I do is sit while studying, which is why I try to get as many walks in. Anyways, if you are pursuing any higher education, it is really essential you get a book stand. I went into law school, I'm gonna be so honest. I thought, oh, I've been a legal assistant. Oh, I've been a runner. I've worked at a firm for almost 3 years. I don't need to prepare. That wasn't true. You should prepare for law school. A book stand. Especially if you're pursuing a law degree. You need this. Your neck will hurt so bad. And I don't know why I didn't get it earlier for my accounting notes. So, yeah. Law school is a beast. Oh, I'm still waking up, honestly. Oh, okay. And then always active studying, so I have a notebook with me to write down what I'm learning, especially if it's like dense material, because with ADHD you have a short-term memory deficit, so to switch it from short-term to long-term, you need to have a way to memorize it. In my way, depends on your learning style. I'm more a visual learner, which is really important. You should know if you're going into higher education or any. And by higher education, I include undergraduate. So, and then my pencil pouch and my book. I do use Notion as a planning tool, which I've made a short about. But yeah, I think it's time to get locked in. It's 7:43. I'm kind of exhausted today because covering the accounting department for the firm the past 2 days has been really tiring. Like, I really applaud our accountant because I don't know how she does it. Because yesterday I couldn't even get to drilling because I was so tired. And my goal is to do 55 minutes of drilling until my exam on January 31st. But that's not happening. And so I've also done a video, a short on this, but I'm going to do it now. So I have a routine to get my mind into the mode. So I turn on all my lights, including the really bright light rather than the soft light or warm light. I do chapstick and lotion. Because if I get those out of the way in the beginning, I won't get distracted. It's so small, but once I lose my thought process, it's really hard for me to get back sometimes. So I try to get them out of the way in the beginning. And I do this in law school class too. Like, once class starts, I'm like putting on lotion and chapstick every 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. class I had. So I'm gonna start with chapstick. And then lotion, which I always have during the winter times. In the summer times, I don't really need lotion as much. It's not a daily occurrence, but in the winter, it's just so dry. I hate dry hands while studying. So I put on lotion. It takes a couple minutes for it to like settle, which is actually really good. Because it gives me a second to like mindfully get into the mode of studying. I do this before my exams too, like before every exam, chapstick and lotion, because it tells my brain, hey, it's time you really need to think. And like, but also it's a meditative way of me slowly easing into it. And I always show up early for exams for my brain to catch up. Like, and by early, I mean at least an hour. If I'm not there an hour early to 30 minutes early, something's up. And so there's quite a bit of background noise. So I'm going to wear my headphones with white noise or any form of noise. And then I'm also going to play my iPad with white noise because the background noise is really bothering me while studying. So yeah, I have some browning left, but I'm kind of full. So we'll see if I get to it. But yeah, today my goal is to study chapters 7 through 10. Let me check my schedule. Yeah, okay, so Monday I got through chapter 4 because I was covering for the firm and I was like, whoa. And then Tuesday I got through chapter 5 and 6. And for context, each chapter has a minimum of 4 subchapters. So it's like really like 4 chapters in one. But the density of the CMA is pretty intense because it's pretty much like a final for my accounting degree. That's how I would say it. And so today, I'm looking at it. It's a little unrealistic once again, but since I'm not working the weekend, I'm going to be able to move some stuff. But you know what? I'm going to aim high, as always, and then adjust. I always do this every day. So when I say this, take it with a grain of salt. I'll just see how much I can really do. I'm going to work my butt off to try to do it all, but I don't think I will be able to get to it. I'll try though. So I have chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10, and then chapter 10 practice. And then I need to review the timing of the exam with my double time accommodation. And then I need to figure out the stop-start breaks. I don't have those, so my breaks will get accounted for within my exam time. And then they said they have unlimited scratch paper. And then I have 55 minutes in drilling, but I have accounted for in my plan additional drilling for each chapter in the upcoming days. So what's really likely going to happen is Sunday I'm going to do chapter 11 and 12, even though I plan for Saturday to have chapter 11, chapter 12. Anyways, yeah, I use Notion, highly recommend. if you haven't seen my short, this is what Notion looks like. And as someone who aims high and then just like keeps modifying my plan daily, because if I don't aim high, then I won't make the progress as much as I did that day. So like if I aim for 3 chapters, I would get 2 done rather than 3 done if I aim for 4, if that makes sense. Because procrastination with ADHD is very, 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 very common. And so I account for that in my plan. So like right now I have a week of leeway for when I freeze or I have an emergency or I'm procrastinating and I'm exhausted. And so as you guys saw this morning, I couldn't get out of bed for 2 hours. And it wasn't like a bad thing. It was just like I was scrolling on YouTube. I was just like dead. Like I was tired. And so that's okay, but I have to account for that in my plan, which I do in law school as well. So as long as you work with yourself, not against yourself with time management, it works. And so, yeah, chapter 7 is about cost management concepts. Chapter 8 is about cost accumulation systems. And then chapter 9 is about cost allocation techniques, which I'm kind of excited to learn about, like relearn about that again. And then chapter 10 is supply chain management, which I don't like. I don't like supply chain. But I do really like cost management because it's really interesting. It's very interesting, like job costing, product costing. Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot, guys. I'm almost done with chapter 7. Look at that. So that's really nice. I'm probably going to do a time lapse because no one wants to watch me study. And so I'll just make it fast for you guys. But for me, it's going to be a little slower, which is okay because that means I'm fully learning. And I did a short on this as well, but as I'm studying, I have ChatGPT up. And so like, for example, yesterday I was kind of having some trouble understanding variable versus absorption costing. Let me see. So I asked ChatGPT absorption, and I literally just said absorption and variable costing. Big idea. Absorption costing treats fixed manufacturing overhead as a product cost, while variable treats it as a period cost. And so like I think of it as like absorption, it's absorbed into the product, while variable is treated as an expense. And so then it just explains it. So absorption is full costing, variable is direct costing. Just explains it. It even has like tables. So like absorption goes into product, inventory by higher value, which in accounting, this is so important. Understanding how it affects the assets, the liabilities, and that specific account, especially if it's a contra asset or contra equity, or even contra liability. But I don't think that's very common. Contra liability is so uncommon. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. So, and then income affected by production. So ChatGPT is extremely helpful. So yeah, it even has a memory trick. It says exam memory trick. Absorption absorbs fixed overhead into inventory. Variable lets fixed cost flow straight into the income statement. And okay, let's have a quick conversation before I jump in because I have 8 minutes till 8. If you are a perfectionist, you will not get through all the material. And I'm being so for real, especially in law school, especially with such dense material. So what I do is I do as much as I feasibly can. Like if I don't fully get it memorized, I have a Quizlet that I have in my plan that I will later memorize it for. If I don't fully understand it, I have drilling later on that will eventually like, it's like kind of like a net. It gets the net of what you didn't get originally. But you first have to get the big picture. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going through my cheat sheets. I'm going through the book. It's kind of like a textbook. It's like a study book. I'm going through the cheat sheet. I'm going through the book and I'm getting the big picture, right? So kind of like, if imagine it's like a body of water and you're trying to get the fish, right? And the fish are the material you're learning. The big net is going to get the fish, like the majority of the fish. So that's what I'm doing right now. Like I have a big net. I'm getting the majority of the fish. I'm getting the big picture back in my brain after studying it in the summer. So it's kind of review, kind of not, because it's been about 4 months. It's been a whole semester since I've studied this. So it's studying, learning / relearning, right? And then in my schedule later on, I have planned to get the remaining fish. There's like, say there's like 12 fish remaining and they're just swimming around, right? So this is what your brain hasn't fully comprehended or been able to apply. So with a day
where I have Quizlet studying, a day where I have formula memorization and T account memorization, that's going to solidify the fish that are remaining in the water. But at least I got the big picture in my brain. Because if you're a perfectionist, what you're going to do is you're going to try to get your net and you're going to try to get all the fish at once. But what's going to happen? The fish are going to overflow from that net. You're not going to be able to, because your brain can only hold so much in one day. And that's why cramming is awful. But sometimes I've had to do it in law school. I'm going to be so honest. Like, timing is extremely challenging in postgraduate material. And so since I have time, I have about a month now, directly 1 month. This is giving me time to not overflow my net and have those fish fall out, but rather do one big net and then get a smaller net and pick those up at the very end, the fish at the very end. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. As you saw with my schedule earlier, I'm doing the chapters, and then like Friday, I'm doing memorization of T accounts and formulas and definitions. And then tomorrow I'm doing multiple choice practice. So right now I'm just doing the conceptual. So always my idea is conceptual practice. But conceptual, you have to really understand to be able to apply it. So what do? You do general first, and then you do detailed through practice. Because the practice will tell you where your gaps are. And that's exactly how you do well in an exam. You fill your gaps and then you're good. That's a long-winded study tip, but don't try to be a perfectionist. Don't try to memorize everything at once. Try to absorb and actually understand it. Ask why. Understand how this process works. Understand the steps of the accounting process. And then work with it. And so, yeah. I will get to studying now, but I think that's a really helpful study trick. I hope that helps someone. I might make a short on it too for future reference, but yeah, I'm gonna get started. I have 7.4 left for chapter 7. So really, I do think I could do it because it's chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10. That's the majority of it. And I think I can do it if I get a Diet Coke after work. But if I don't get a Diet Coke after work, that's not happening. So I'm going to get to study. I'm going to time lapse so you don't have to watch me in slow motion study. Also, time lapse is somehow aesthetic. I don't know. Don't get me started. Yeah. Bye. Okay, so for the first study session, I do a bit of review from what I learned yesterday to get focused and see where I am in terms of studying. So I looked at like subunits 7.1 to 7.3, and then I actually started studying. And here I've started studying the new material. Okay, hi guys. So I just did like a 43-minute study session. I usually do 55 minutes, 10 minutes break, 55 minutes locked in, 10-minute break, then a long break. But I'm a little tired, just a little bit. So I'm gonna go to Quick Trip to get a Diet Coke to help me focus. I just finished chapter 7. I learned about the difference between absorption versus variable costing and how variable costing is not conformant with GAAP and all that stuff. And it was actually really interesting to see how people can manipulate via absorption costing, which is what is conformant with GAAP, which is pretty much like the governing principles for accounting. But you guys, you don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear about my accounting nerdy stuff because I love it so much. But anyways, I'm gonna go to Quick Trip. I'm gonna get a Diet Coke, and I'm gonna add milk and whipped cream. The brownie was delicious. I had like half of it, but my stomach kind of hurts because I don't think my stomach's used to sweet treats as a gluten-free individual. So hopefully the milk, the protein from the milk will help me feel better. But yeah, it is, for a timestamp, 8:45, and I have work at 12, so I'm gonna get a Diet Coke, and then my goal by 12 is to get through chapter 8, which is about cost accumulation systems. I think it's really important to note that my first Pomodoro method is usually my slowest because it takes me a while to get in the mode. And especially since I'm tired today, I'm giving myself grace, and I think a Diet Coke will help a lot, especially since I have to cover for the firm today. In terms of accounting, because our accountant is sick, which is kind of sad. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get a Diet Coke. But yeah, when I do the Pomodoro method, my first session is always the slowest. Okay, this is why I'm getting a Diet Coke. My first session is always the slowest because it's your brain going into thinking mode. And for me, that takes a little longer. And as you can see, I had to do some tricks to combat my exhaustion. I had to do my trick where I get a bookmark and I read it line by line. So let me show you. So if I see this wall of text, I freak out. So I have to go like this when I'm super tired because my brain just gets overloaded with the amount of material on there and it freaks out. And then I have reading comprehension difficulties. So what I do to combat that sometimes is I speak out loud and read the words out loud because I'm verbally pretty gifted. Yeah, I'm verbally gifted, but if it's nonverbal, I have a disorder. And so that's why with reading comprehension, it helps me a lot because my verbal gift helps make up for the reading difficulties when I read it out loud. It like kind of like compensates for it. Yeah, which is an interesting combination to have where you have reading comprehension disorder and a nonverbal learning disorder, but then you're verbally gifted. So yeah, talking about learning disorders is essential to raise awareness in the academia field, because if I tell people that, they're like, what? I didn't think you had any challenges in school or anything. And I'm like, I do. I just work my butt off. So and I work smart. I work smart, but I work hard. I don't work extremely hard to the point it's futile, like not futile. I don't even know if that's the right word. It's useless. I work smart, but I also really work hard because I think it's important to know that both are essential, but working smart is including tricks and study hacks. Because the saying work smarter, not harder implies that you're not working hard, but to work smart, you have to work hard to find what's smart. So I could analyze that saying, but I do think working smart includes working hard, and working smart is not doing pointless hours of studying that you know won't get anything done at all. And so, yeah, those are my tricks. I read out loud. I use the bookmark as a reading guide, and I use my notebook. But days like these when I'm tired, I do need a Diet Coke, and I do understand, like, I am gonna go slower, and I think that's gonna be, honestly, the next couple months, because this is grind time for exam season, because I had law school finals, then I had my CMA part 1, and then I have law school finals, and then CMA part 2. So I'm gonna be a little tired, and that's okay, because I know studying is a privilege in itself, and I just don't want to burn out. And so taking breaks and understanding the difference between pushing yourself and working hard versus draining yourself and burning yourself out. So today I know that I can study. Like, I don't feel so exhausted that I can't do anything. And if I did try to study, it wouldn't be useless. Which is how it was yesterday. So instead of burning myself out and forcing myself to study after work yesterday, I folded and I went to bed. I took a shower and went to bed, because it's a marathon. Like, I have to get to May after just taking law school finals and then taking my CMA in a month, and then law school finals for second semester, and then my CMA in a month after those finals. And so a huge part of running a marathon is wanting to sprint versus wanting to jog versus wanting to take a break. And that's exactly how school is. And so it's all about listening to your body. And today I'm like tired, but like I have the mental capacity to study. And I feel like to some extent being tired is like kind of a part of it sometimes. And so just know
where the line is, and that's really hard to discover without practice. And through my undergraduate studying years, I have learned with myself. It's learning who you are. Like I know the key signs when I can't study, and that's just a part of it. So I'm gonna get a Diet Coke. That will help. And then I'm gonna learn about job order costing and process costing and activity-based costing and life cycle costing, which I'm really excited because I haven't studied that. That was like last year when I studied managerial accounting in the upper level class. So I'm kind of excited for that. But yeah, to do that, I need caffeine. So I'm going to Quick Trip. I will talk to you when I'm back. Okay, so I've secured the Diet Coke. I listened to my One Boss playlist, and the songs actually got me really motivated. So I'm ready to study, and the caffeine is helping a lot. I don't know. I think I want to add some milk. So I'm going to do this size Quick Trip. This is what got me through law school finals. I have to admit, I had like one of these a day during that time. It was a lot. But I'm going to save the rest for tomorrow. But let's see. I really need a lot of caffeine today. It's also New Year's, so I don't know if I'll be up to it. Okay, yeah, that works. And so I will save that for later in my fridge. Okay. And you guys know the drill. Milk, cream. Don't hate it till you try it. I say that every time. My friend, she tried it. She said it tastes like coffee, which I kind of see it actually. But she's like, it's pretty much just like coffee. I'm like, I mean, I don't really like how coffee affects me in terms of caffeine. It makes me more tired actually. And so this is a perfect substitute. But yeah, and I really like it because I'm not really in the mood to eat when I study. So it gives me some form of nutrition through milk. So I have like something to balance out my sugar. So here it is. I'm gonna add a smidge more milk. Okay. Yeah, that's better. I know it's little, but okay. Back to studying. We took our 10-minute break, and now it's time to grind. Okay, so I finished chapter 8, which is wonderful. I just learned about process, job costing, activity-based costing, and life cycle costing, the difference between them and things like that. As mentioned before, I will be doing practice later, and that's when you actually apply the conceptual, but that's later. And so that's a win. Today I have chapter 9 and 10 left, so for timestamp, it is 10:40. So I have about an hour and 20 minutes-ish before work. I have been drinking this Diet Coke, which actually has been helping a lot because I am tired, but not as much with the Coke anymore. So it's really good with milk. Highly recommend. Anyways, so that's where we're at. So I forgot to indicate that I'm taking a longer break because that time lapse was actually 2 long study sessions, I think. Anyways, if not, I'm tired, so I'm taking a longer break. Okay, I entered a state where I got hyper fixated on editing the video that I'm working on right now because it's actually so fun. But the thing is, now I'm late to work because of time blindness. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom and hurry up and go to work. I'm gonna leave my studying here. I'm gonna bring my Diet Coke. And then, yeah, not good. Yeah, I gotta go.
I won't be recording at work because confidential information, but I'll be doing accounting stuff. That's all you need to know. I'll see you guys when I come back to study after work. Hi guys, so I worked about 4.66667 hours, and then I went on a walk with my friend. I'll put up the picture of me and her cat on the phone call, because at this point in the day I get really restless from sitting all day. And so yeah, as you guys saw, I lost track of time and I was a little late to work, but luckily I was over already on hours this week, so it worked out. They don't really care as long as they show up and do my job. So yeah. So after looking at my plan on Notion, good news is that I can actually take the rest of the night off because I won't be working this weekend. I'll just be studying. So that actually gives me a whole day to do chapter 8 and 9, like an extra day. So that makes me really happy. And that gives me 2 days to do drilling because I forgot it's Wednesday, not Thursday. I don't know. My brain thought it was Thursday. So I'm going to rest the rest of the night and just be happy I made it through the day. So Happy New Year. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you want a night vlog. I, especially during law school, stay up till about 12 a.m., 11 p.m. because of the density of the readings. So when law school comes up, I can do that. But thank you so much. Bye.